Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where we talk about hair health and hobbies, and today is a hair video. Excuse my voice. I don't know what's going on, but you know, we gonna keep it pushing, we gonna keep it moving. I was just sitting here and I'm about to search and destroy my hair because I have it straightened, and I thought this would be the perfect time for me to share my opinions on trims. Right? That's a big debate on whether you should trim your hair religiously or not as often, or maybe not at all. So we're going to talk about that today. I am a believer in trimming. I don't believe that you should not trim your hair. And I know that some people don't cut their hair at all for religious reasons, and I'm for that. But outside of religious reasons, I think that in order to maintain the health and, you know, just the maintenance of your hair, that you should trim. And if you don't trim, at the very least, dust your ends. Now, what I don't agree with trimming, hopefully y'all can hear me while I'm trying to make a video. What I don't agree with trimming is the whole 6 to 8 weeks thing. Now, if you are maintaining a cut and or a style, go ahead. 6 to 8 weeks, that's your jam. Perfectly. But the reason why I don't agree with 6 to 8 weeks to trim your hair is because if length retention is your goal, you're cutting off your gains. You're not going to, it's just too often. You're not going to see it because unless you're a person whose hair just is constantly, well, all of our hair is constantly growing, but grows at a faster growth cycle rate, it'll take you longer to see the length. You'll see it, you'll retain it, but it'll take you longer. You'll seem like, you know, people always be like, oh, I'm stuck at this length, or I'm plateauing at this length. Well, think about how often you are trimming your hair, or not even that, when you go sit into a stylist chair, think about how much they are trimming off your hair. I believe in being proactive instead of reactive. So what I think is more important is dusting. Now, you guys see me dust my hair quite often on this channel when I flat iron my hair, but that's also because I had color ends and my hair was really ate up and my hair was really damaged, and I wasn't brave enough to big chop my hair off. So as my hair grows out, I just, you know, I dust and I trim, I dust and I trim, and all that good jazz. So dusting is when you really literally take just a tinge, you know, just a little bit off, maybe to even out the ends. It's not necessarily a trim. And then also in between dusting and in between that maintenance, what one should do is search and destroy, which is what I'm doing now. It's not cutting off the length of the hair, but it's actually going in and looking for any split ends, going section by section. Yes, it's tedious, but it's something that has become so habit to me that I don't even see it as tedious. Like, I'll sit and I'll watch TV, or I'll sit and I'll listen to a sermon or whatever I'm doing, and I'll just search and destroy. And I do it this way by putting it between my hand and popping off whatever comes up. And like you guys, like I said before, I cut any splits that I see, and I do this so often that it's preventative. I never really have splits the length of my hair. They kind of always start like toward this like bottom. Oops, this toward this. Let me quit slinging these around. Oh, tragic. Typically after I'm done, like I would do this whole section, then I would divide it, and then I would actually twist the hair like this, and then look at it, and then any ones that I may have missed, I'll go in and I'll cut those off as well. So that's what I do, so that I don't have to get trims so often, so that my ends aren't so ate up, and it looks healthier. You know, it has that aesthetic that is pleasing to me, because it may not be pleasing to everybody, but my hair naturally grows more V-ish, and I'm starting to think that a lot of people hair naturally grows like that. Because think about it, when you cut your hair blunt, like a straight line across the back, no matter, like, especially if it's at your shoulders, then don't that mean the hair that's under here is actually the shortest piece, while the hair way up here would be like the longest piece? So technically that cut is just purely aesthetic, because when you hold those pieces of hair up, like, this hair would be shorter and that hair would be all out there. So technically it really is not even. Am I tripping? Am I the only one who be thinking like that? But maybe it's me. So I flip the hair out, and so what that does is when the hair meets in the back, it goes like this. Because I grow that tail, and my hair just naturally does that. And I used to have, when I had my color that I'm growing out, I always kept layers. Just because and I really don't even have a rationale on why I always kept layers or had layers cut into my hair. I don't know. Probably saw in my other videos like where my layers have grown out, like, but they're long, but they just look really interesting. So it's like, do you go back and just have in my hair? You really can't tell because they done grown out. But like the ones that were really in my face, they look a little funky. But I don't care. It don't bother me. I trim twice a year. And so what that looks like is once in the fall, winter time, and it's usually winter time because it's typically like around like November, December, end of like that time. I don't know why, it's just always like that. And then like it's summer. I feel like them because I used to always get my hair done around my birthday. I'm a December baby, and then back to school, so it'll be around like December, and then the other one will be like toward the end of school in like May. You know, I don't know how spread out that is, but that's what I would do. I feel like majority of the time, I'm pretty much dusting and searching and destroying. And I'll stand up and show you the ends of my hair so you can see that they not bad. They not bad. Okay, so my ends are kind of bumped, but I do want to show you what I mean by like, even though like my ends don't ever really look too terrible anymore since I've been proactive about them. I feel like I probably could just go ahead and chunk some up to have a little bit more weight at the ends, because that's one of those aesthetic, but it's an aesthetic thing. As far as my hair though, take a look. Yes, Summer.
Can I have some more pop?
So, yeah, so hopefully this made sense. What?
Peace
And many blessings. But like I was saying, for length retention, don't get me wrong, I'm not coming at anybody that's doing 6 to 8 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. Because if you're maintaining the style, if you're maintaining the cut, I understand. Because literally, the hair does not grow naturally in that cut or that style. It doesn't naturally go blunt. That's why when it starts to grow, you want to, cut it to keep a blunt cut like that. But if your goal is length retention, put it in a nutshell. Let's wrap this up. What you want to do is stay away from letting somebody cut inches off of your hair every 6 to 8 weeks, because that's going to be counterintuitive for your growth. And make sure instead that you are looking at your ends, watching your ends, and dusting them as needed. And in between dusting, you are taking time to search and destroy for what's in the hair. What's in the hair, so that the splits or anything that's hiding in there don't continue to go up, especially if you're a natural girly, because that's why my ends were so messed up, because I was wearing a mess out of wet styles, like wet dry styles, wash and go, braid outs, and all that type of stuff like that, and I wasn't properly taking care of it. So I'm thinking my hair is curly, my hair is full, it's looking good and whatever. And then trims twice a year, okay? At least twice a year, even though here lately I haven't been taking my own advice. I have been doing like maybe yearly, so I need to get back on that. The goal is to be proactive, not reactive, because if you're reactive, then you're going to have to cut off inches. The goal is to retain the length, okay? To retain the length, not cut it off 6 to 8 weeks or neglected. You want to just really be paying attention to it and doing what works for you. So hopefully this helps somebody. But even if it don't help nobody, now you know what I do. Now you know where I'm coming from. So I'm not going to make you watch me do this side or anything like that, because I do this when I get bored or when I see the scissors or when I just have time. Like I'm just searching and destroying. You tell me down in the comments, do you think I'm obsessive? You think I'm doing too much? Or you think I'm not doing enough? I don't know, but like I said, if you saw my video from way back and where I started from, the color I had on my ends and the state of my ends, you'll be like, you better than where you was. That's all that matters. I'm better than what I was. It's not gonna be perfect. It probably can be better even now, but I like it. I'm not gonna complain. That's it. That's all. Love all of y'all. Peace and many blessings. And many blessings, many blessings, many blessings.